Hi everyone, today I'm going to be carving and sharing the process of carving this custom ring. It's actually going to be a sacred heart ring for my dad, and that's super exciting for me. Sacred hearts are interesting because they're a religious symbol, but they've kind of been co-opted into like tattoo and alternative culture as well, which meant that when I was looking for reference pictures, it was really fun because there was some things that were like medieval religious texts, and then some things that were like modern tattoo flash, so that was really cool. This project took me a few goes, so let's just start with this first attempt. So I wasn't really sure how to start this idea, so I've given myself a signet ring base which I've carved the heart out from. I'm not really feeling this, it's still really wide and clunky, but I know it needs more refining though. So next I want to smooth it out, thin out the band a little bit, and then I want to add the crown of thorns and the detail around the heart, and see how that looks. Okay, checking back in. I like the carved sacred heart. I think the fire could do with more work, but I don't really think this signet shape is the way to go. I spoke to my dad and we both agreed that the wide signet shoulders are a bit too big, and actually the ring wants to be just a heart on a band, so I'm going to file off these shoulders just to see how it looks without the flat part. So I was aware this would happen, but it's good to know. The way that I've carved this means that the design is really far out from the band, so the front is really thick. I think this is a good practice piece though, so I'm now going to actually file off these flames which I carved with a blade, and try them again but using a building up technique using a heat pen. I think this way I can practice on this one and have a better idea of what I want to do on the next try. So here's the second ring in its raw state. I've marked the middle and I've drawn on a much bigger heart design without the flames, which I think I'll probably add later. So now I'm going to carve this ring out. It's going to sit much closer to the band than last time, so I'm actually going to take off some material from the top before I even start the carving. Here we now have the heart shape on the band. I think this is looking much bigger than I'd like, so I'm actually going to take this down little by little and keep shaping it to the sides in the hope that it will kind of wrap around the front of the band. Here we have it a little smaller. I did some of this on a live stream, so hi if you saw that. And I added this red wax just as a placeholder fire to give myself a better idea of size and scale. And it's made me think that it needs to be even smaller again, actually. So you'll notice the band is really rough still. That's on purpose. I actually keep the band like this for as long as possible because it's just stronger. So I'll actually finish working on the band after the design on the front is done. So here's the heart on the same ring. The band is cleaner and a better shape, but it's time to check in again to see what my dad thinks. While I wait for a response, I'm just going to clean up the inside and try and give it a bit more of a comfort fit by carving out some of the material behind the front. So we've now decided this height is good for the ring, but the heart should be wider and sort of wrap around the front a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is add red wax to this, and when it's the right size I'll use that as a guide to start on a fresh wax, but I'll be able to use all of the measurements to dictate how I do the next one. Here's the old ring with the red wax on it that I'm using as a size guide next to the current piece. You can see that the front needs to be a little bit thinner. Okay, I've taken the red wax off the other ring just to show the size difference between what I was working on last time and this attempt. I'm much happier with the scale of this one, and so now I'm going to start refining the band and adding the detail to the front part of the design. So it's been a few days for me because I actually sent this to my dad for him to try on. It's a good fit. It needs to be narrower in the back of the band where it sits on the palm. And I just want to refine the design a little bit because after having not looked at it for a couple of days, I'm noticing some bits which could be made a little bit better. So I'm going to do that now because the more perfect the wax is, the easier the cleanup in silver will be. Here's the finished wax, all ready to be sent to the casters. I'm really happy with this. I like the design and I think I'm getting better at finishing my waxes each time I work on one. I really hope you enjoyed watching the design and refining process of carving this commission. I will post another video in the next few days showing the final result and how I clean up my silver castings, so make sure you subscribe to see it. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.